Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's me, it's RDV. I'm here with Zach again. We're on Top 5 Tuesday, where we talk about books come out this week, and we take 5 books from both our pull lists as our we think are going to be the best books. So I hope you guys are excited. What's that?
I said, yes, indeed.
Uh, not many books out this week. Last week was just like typical, like, here's everything we pushed back all at once.
I think, I did some looking ahead for this month for February, and it's the same story. Like 3 weeks, it's like, okay, slim picking. Last week of the month, boom, it's like make your wallet cry day.
I've been noticing this since probably like mid-July or last year. They started doing this.
I can believe that. Yeah.
And it's not a uncommon thing. It's happened several times in the past years for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think everything's just been really messed up since 2020, with Diamond losing the big contract.
Yeah, because they were the only one for a long time, right?
And then with all the inflation going on right now, it's getting harder and harder to get people to work or even afford to pay them if they do want to work.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's a combination of everything. So hopefully we get our books. I mean, Aftershocks Comics, people who love those books, the company filed bankruptcy about last month?
I believe so.
Monday, back in December. And people who were looking forward to those, it sucks. It's like you're reading a book and it's like halfway through the story and you'll never get the rest of the story unless it goes indie.
That is a big bummer for sure.
All right, so the site we use is League of Comic Geeks. I enjoy this using this site. It is very useful as far as keeping track of your books. Also, it lets you basically see what's coming out, and so you don't have to look. You can go as far as long as there's a Marvel or DC preview book that's out.
Yeah.
Stop paying $20 to go see that when you can just go in here and just skip ahead to see what books are coming out.
Yeah.
These guys, whoever control or is in charge of their site, they scrounger and they get the releases and they update it to the site. Mm-hmm. Now, I recommend using the desktop version. Do not use the app. The app
is wonky. Yeah.
And the weird thing is that, whether you're using an Android or iPhone doesn't make a difference. Is that it'll just like, oh, we fixed bugs, and then you'll find out it's like, that's why are these books on my pull list? I didn't have these there.
Oh, see, I've never had that. My thing is, I've had trouble like where it won't even open. Like I'll just get like a little circle, and it'll just stay there forever.
Yeah,
that's been my issue with it.
I have the iPhone, so maybe the iPhone is a little better.
Maybe. So. I mean, it's been better on the Android recently, because I'll pull it up and like if I'm looking through back issues or whatever, I'll pull out my phone and just kind of look through. Like if I'm looking at West Coast Avengers back issues, I'll go down to West Coast Avengers and see what I have marked that I have or not. And it's been working recently, but
like I said, you see up here we have the pull list. We have and you have shows all your books that you own.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also browse going through all of every publisher that's been out and every book that's in existence as far as they've added onto here. And you can go through. That's why I find a lot of my back issues. So sometimes I'm looking through Image. I scoured through Image like 20 pages of his Image titles A through Z, and I found a lot of crime. Noir, I guess would call it noir.
Noir.
Yes. And I said I found a lot of cool books that way, so I go through that.
Right on.
Yeah. And then, so why is RDV so late? Because we decided to have a conversation about the channel beforehand, and we figured we'd get you guys more anticipated for the stream by making me wait.
That's right. Nobody was saying anything, so we thought nobody was even here. Like, I was the only one who commented at the time. I think Evil Black Cat might have too.
You guys are getting so used to being spoiled. That's going on time. We figured we'd make you sweat a little bit and say like, freak out.
Where are they?
But of course, you guys don't complain until after we go live. Then you complain. So it's like, are we in demand or are we not in demand? So anyway, you want to start us off by going with your number 5, and then we'll count down.
All right, my number 5. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to start with a book from. I'm going to do this one. It's from American Mythology. It's from a little publisher. It's not one of the big two, but I'm going to start us off tonight. My number 5 is going to be Lady Zorro, Final Fight, number 1.
Pat Shand. How far down we going here?
Which will be somewhere down here. There it is. Right near the bottom.
I took all the, what you want to call it, the manga off. I filtered it out. I was like, I'm tired of seeing the manga all the time on here. It's like, I don't buy manga.
I don't see they show manga, but the manga that they show, it's typically only like one chapter, and there's like 4 or 5 they'll put in a volume when they release it in paperback. So, like, why do that? Just show when a whole book comes out. You don't need to show just one chapter. Anyway.
Austin P, real quickly. Austin, he did a stream this around noon because, he's talking about the DC movies that came out by James Gunn.
That was because of the big James Gunn announcement.
So go check that out.
I did not hate, but you can go check that out.
We'll talk about it a little later after that we're done with this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure it's going to come up at some point in the night. But this one, so I have no idea. If I've heard of Pat Shand or Gerardo Gamboni before, I don't know it. But it seemed like a cool concept. I like Zorro. Lady Zorro sounds like an interesting concept. Sounds like she has to fight shapeshifters, spider demons, priests, and swamp witches. So it sounds like a really cool pulpy adventure story. It's got my attention. The cover looks great. If it's anything like the cover is done by Claudio Avella.
Here's your Linzer.
Yeah, the Linzer one looks pretty good too, actually. The Linzer one makes her look more like a pirate, but I'm okay with that.
Right.
And then in the cape, there's like all the skulls in the cape. So, but I think if I'm
cosplaying Zorro.
Yeah, that one I'm not too big a fan of.
I got my Hanes shirt on.
But this artist has done a lot of work. I think he's done some American mythology books before, from what I've seen. But I know almost nothing about the Lady Zorro character. I like normal Zorro.
I was like you. I saw these like, it's coming out. It's Pat Shand. He's a good writer. He's written some other books back in the day, some female centric. Okay. So Lady Zorro, from what I know from the early Dynamite stuff, when Dynamite had it, Lady Zorro was basically Zorro had to go away, so he needed someone to keep the fight in his absence. So he chose this woman. And confidant, and she took up the name Lady Zorro. So that was basically their introduction. So if anybody knows the accurate thing, because I'm going off something I read like about 2 months ago.
Yeah,
I don't really remember the full correct details. So if you know better than me, let us know.
It does. I do see Pat Shand here. He has written a lot of Xenoscope books,
exactly.
Like a lot of Robin Hood. So
yep.
You're probably far more familiar with his work than I am.
Sadly, my shop did not have the one before this. He was going against the Lady Zorro versus the Swamp Witch, I think it was the other one.
Yeah, Swamp Witch. Yep.
I'm probably gonna start looking these up online and see if I can just buy. Somebody has a collection.
Yeah, I'm sure there's got to be a trade or something of these. I would imagine.
It's funny that
a bunch of Van Helsing. It looks like too.
It's funny that somebody in the comment right below says like maybe I should just go watch Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords was this pretty much ironically that was actually the Lady Zorro. They had they used to have on the CW or was it the WB at the time? Back in the early
that might have been back when it was the WB because I don't remember it and I don't remember a lot of shows.
So early 2000s, and you had Spacey. She was I think she might have been the daughter, but then again I don't think it was. I think this was the same version here. You're getting someone who got permission, who was trained by Zorro to take over.
Yeah. It sounds fun. In the show it was the daughter in the show.
Or was it? Okay.
I think the father dies. I'm just doing a quick glance through Wikipedia. But it doesn't say Zorro. It just calls her like the Avenging Angel, Queen of
Yeah,
Swords.
Queen of Swords.
It sounds a lot like Zorro.
It has a really great catchy theme song, Behind the
Yeah,
Mask.
and I love like the Zorro movies with Antonio Banderas. Those are some of my favorite movies.
Exactly, and
Could never be made today. You can never have
no.
with Anthony Hopkins, a white British guy, being
Are
a
you
Mexican
kidding me?
hero.
We got Puss in Boots, so it's the next best thing.
That's true. This is an
But I would
awesome movie.
love to have an animated Zorro show having Antonio Banderas.
Oh, that would be bomb. Oh, I would watch that. Absolutely.
Right?
I would love that.
So.
Heck yeah. So, but anyway, this is my number 5. Never read one of these before. I'm taking one of my famous or infamous number 5 gambles, but I think it'll be pretty good. Pat Shand, I know you read a lot of his Robin Hood and Van Helsing books from Xenoscope.
Exactly.
You never say anything bad about those, so I'm thinking this will probably fall under that same category.
Yeah. The other thing is that I always thought about because the second Zorro movie bombed, so they never did another one. With Catherine Zeta-Jones just previously appearing in Wednesday on that show, Antonio Banderas is still popular. They should just do a passing of the torch.
He's pretty old though by now. Antonio
like
Banderas,
I said, I would love to see a passing the torch where his daughter takes over as the new Lady Zorro.
I don't think he had a daughter. When they did the sequel, he had a son.
Oh, was it?
It was a son in the movie, yeah.
Whatever. We could still connect it to a new one.
You could have it to where they had a daughter off screen. You could do that, I guess. But I wouldn't mind that. I would watch that. I think that would be pretty cool.
Right? It worked for the Mummy.
To a degree. Not the third one. No, not the Mummy 3. God, no. That movie had like 2 good scenes. And none of them involved the son, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But,
this isn't. Those wasn't. This isn't a DC Comics sale. Lady Zorro or even Zorro. Zorro was a public domain character.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay.
Or the trans Zorro, where it goes to some good transition.
Yeah, it'd be hysterical. We can have a Zorro movie where Anthony Hopkins is not a main character, but
honestly, the way I see this is that the character poses as a guy when it's a woman, she's the daughter, poses as a guy to confuse everybody, and then it's discovered by somebody else, that actually comes from love interest.
Girl.
She's like, yeah, exactly. See,
instead of like wearing the eye mask, she wears like a bandana. And so that way it can double as like a COVID mask. And so if she has this mask covered, you can't tell that she's a guy.
I'm pretty sure there wasn't COVID back in the 1800s.
Well, they'd find some way. They'd have some like evil scientists make a plague or something. I don't know. Then like some bandit or somebody just like grabs it and rips it off.
All right. So now you're going into basically the Resident Evil Netflix series, but they have the mention COVID.
I'm like 2 steps away from writing a fan fiction about this for SJWs and making money off of them. But
Bill and Ted, thank you. Retcon the sons into daughters. That's all you have to do. Retcon it.
There you go.
People are gonna hate it regardless, no matter what you do, whether it's a guy or a girl. People don't like new movies these days. So there's always gonna be someone to hate something, but whatever. We spent way too much time on the Lady Zorro final fight.
We did, but more importantly, Jay jinxed Breen, so now Breen can't say anything. So Breen has to be quiet in the chat whenever I pull up all my bad choices for comics.
All right, so as we said, this week is kind of a light week for me too. So which I love. It's like, hey, it's great. And then I also hate because everything gets pushed back to the final week of the month.
Right.
And there's only 28 days this month. February.
Is it 28? Yeah, it is. You're right. It is 28 days.
So my number 1, or actually not number 1, but my number 5, the top, is going to be Batman Legends of Gotham, number 1.
You're about to go in reverse. Start with the best and go to the worst.
Well, it's a number 1. It threw me off.
Didn't they end this one though? Didn't they end or is that Urban Legends? I guess
those Urban Legends or something like that, or not Urban Legends, but you're thinking of the Future State stuff.
Maybe it was like an anthology. I think it was one of the ones where they first announced that Tim was bi or Tim was gay.
So this is spinning out of Lazarus.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Andy Diggle. Now, Andy Diggle, I don't really know much about some of his writing stuff. Some people said they didn't like him. I've heard people say they do like his stuff. He's written
He
for
wrote Green Arrow, didn't he? Didn't he write some Green Arrow?
He wrote The Losers, Thief of Thieves.
Okay.
The 2000 AD. So, I mean, he's
right.
done some writing. He's, so
yeah.
He's worked on Action Comics. He's worked on Batman Legends, which came out in 2007. Batman Confidential, Captain America: Living Legend, 2013. That's Daredevil. So I mean, like, the guy has worked on a lot of stuff. Now, yeah, and remember you're talking about Green Lanterns, 2016, 2018. He wrote a lot of that too.
Okay.
With Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz. So I mean, I'm just curious because people are saying, well, it's 48 pages. It's it's 5.99. I'm getting Katana, which I don't really see in DC comic books unless it's some book I really don't want to read.
How has the Outsiders dwindled down to pretty much just Katana and Black Lightning? Like, you used to have like 6 members of the team, and now it's like 2.
Yeah. So Batman Paragamite and his deepest, darkest, most dangerous secrets are about to be auctioned off to the highest bidder. The guest list is strictly villains only, and Outlaw Red Hood fits the bill, but him in a collision course with the Batman's deniable Black Ops team, the Outsiders. With Lazarus Island spawning the wild card superpowers across the globe, the stakes could be no higher. Jason Todd, Black Lightning, and Katana will have to put aside their differences to save Batman's legacy, and with it, the world. That's assuming they don't kill each other first. So, like I said, it's $6, 48 pages. This is my first Andy Diggle book, so it could be really bad. I'll learn my lesson.
Yeah.
Or it could be good.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan of the design of like the hood like that. This looks really bad.
I don't like the new Red Hood. They put first of all, he uses the weapon that killed him. That's weird. And then the katana is weird. The mask now covers only like half of his face. That's a good cover. I like that.
Katana.
That's
like cool. I said, it's $7 though.
Yeah, that's the thing. $7. I mean, no, when I first saw it, I thought it was going to be like an anthology book. So if it's all just like one cohesive story, okay, that works. But $7 for a one shot seems to be pretty steep. But if
I like Black Lightning, and when he's not written as a trope.
Yeah.
Or stereotype. Jason Todd should never be using a crowbar. I'm taking the crowbar back, bro. Like, no.
Rather than Red Hood, like,
give him the guns.
Morpho in here or something. Like,
oh yeah,
get another actual outsider. Like, what was his name? Tara's brother, the Earthbender or whatever. Or the vampire girl. Girl turned into a vampire, I think. Brain's gonna chastise me for not knowing these people's names.
That's okay. You have Black Cat made fun of you.
Yeah, that's okay. I saw that. The White Hood. So original. It wasn't.
I don't think that would work having a character with a white hood and a guy named Black Lightning in here.
Geoforce. Thank you, Jay. That's the guy. Tara's brother was Geoforce.
Geoforce. That sounds like it's some like Power Ranger stuff. Wasn't that Geo Power Rangers? Wasn't that Geoforce?
It was a really weird name. But it's like, hey, there's Tara, and then here's Geoforce. What? No.
Did Tara even have a code name?
Tara was her code name.
Oh,
it was just spelled differently.
She wasn't called Quake.
No. Her real name was Tara, Tara, and then her code name was Tara, Terra. So same name, just different spelling.
All right. So hopefully this turns out to be pretty good. I could be bad. I'm giving it a chance. It's there's not really that many books tying into Lazarus Project or the Lazarus events that I really want to read. And that's what I hate about this. There's so many crappy writers being allowed books in the event stuff. So, and I'm a person I like reading when the whole world's affected by events. I like reading their reaction stuff. That was kind of like Civil War. You had every other title round it was still being written by good writers. Mm-hmm. This I don't want to see Megan Fitzmartin touching any of this shit with the Lazarus. I don't want to. Mark Waid be an asshole, but what he's been doing with the book, it's been great.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. All right, so let's go to your number 4.
All righty, my number 4. I am gonna add on here. I'm gonna throw a wild card. This is a book, and this is probably really dumb of me to do this, to jump on at this type of a number. But I've heard some people say good things about it. The writer of this series does intrigue me. I know he's written some good stuff.
Is it X-Force?
How do you do that? Like, how legitimately? How do you do that? Do you see my screen when I go to the StreamYard? It is X-Force number 37.
Well, you had said to me, like, you said number 37. It was number 37 in the issue. I was like,
okay.
So I kind of
okay, that's fair. That's on me.
Although, if I really wanted to, I could look at your pull list on your thing.
That's true. You can do that. That's weird.
Because I follow Zach, I follow Andy, or not Andy, but I follow Ash. He is kind of like raggedy Andy. I
follow Skip.
Yeah. So I mean, I follow all you guys on here. So then I can click over to see what you guys have been buying in your collection and what you guys have pulled.
Yeah.
So it's really cool about League Comics like that. But
yeah, I do. Yeah, that is really fun because you can like talk to people and be like, "Hey, how's this book? How's this book?" So, but I've been hearing some people say really good things about Benjamin Percy as a writer. I know he wrote Wolverine for a bit. He's writing Ghost Rider, unless they got canceled.
So I can see why it is. Now you get to learn about the man behind the mask who's been plaguing them since 2019, very first issue, number 1.
I get to skip 36 issues of exposition and mystery and just go straight to the reveal. Right. But, I like a lot of these characters. I like Wolverine. I like Deadpool. I like Domino, Sage, and Beast. Omega Red, I know about him, but I don't know that much about him. So, I mean, it could be interesting. It sounds like it has the potential to be. I know a lot of people just like dump all over every X title, but I don't know. I think I might give this a try. I'll give it its day in court.
So you know what would be really great? If they want to do these stupid Planet of the Apes crap, have them all, no matter what issue you're forced to buy every single title to get the connecting covers.
Oh, that's a no. I don't care for. I don't do. So the last time I tried to do that, this was back in, I think it was like 2012 or 2013. Marvel did these Tron variant covers because they had like the new Tron sequel coming out. So, I'm still missing the Iron Man one.
And this is Alan Davis, Avengers Lost in Time artist.
Okay.
So
that's good. Now, Psylocke is, of course, being a real racist, unlike me, and beating up the weaker race. Or maybe
she's a defend yourself from Asian hate, okay?
But she's British, isn't she? I'm so confused with Psylocke now. Is she Asian? Is she British? What is she?
You can still be Asian, just live in another country.
That's true. Well, you can be British and live in another country too.
Just like you can be a Nazi and live in another country.
Wow, you went there in you took 2 steps to a Nazi joke. No, the artist is Christopher Allen, who I'm not super familiar with. He is doing the art in that Avengers War Across Time. He's doing one of the books, the art in one of those books.
Wow.
And I love that one. That's the one I'm hoping to get. I don't normally go for the
Domino is topless, right? No. Sorry.
Doesn't it look like it though?
It does.
That's not the reason I'm getting it. But after the fact, I was like, holy smoke, she has the pale skin. That's right. Austin P. Originally, Psylocke was a British woman whose brain got put into an Asian ninja's body, which was really, really cool. And then I
thought they merged like fusion.
Damn, I thought it was a brain switch thing. I could be wrong.
Because didn't they just separate them? Now there's a British version and then there's an Asian version now?
I think that's what there is now. Because didn't the British version have like pink hair? I think. I don't know.
I don't know. Betsy Braddock was the original one. Question. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm curious. Benjamin Percy does seem like an artist that I would like. Like, he doesn't do like super deep like Jonathan Hickman or Ed Brubaker stories, but the stuff I've read of his, it's like really fun and it's entertainment. It's like Fast and Furious.
So here's my question. Benjamin Percy's got a cigar in his mouth. Are you gonna draw Wolverine with a cigar in his mouth too?
He darn well should. He darn well should.
Otherwise, get that photo of you with a cigar off.
That's right. Nope. I don't want hypocrisy from my Marvel writers. I realize that's a joke in it of itself, but anyway, yeah, X-Force number 37. I'm gonna give it a try.
So my question is, CB Cebulski is still working for Marvel. I thought he was gone. Cebulski, who gives a shit? He's
sounds funny.
He's like Francis.
As long as it's not that. Isn't he the guy that used that Asian alias name when he was when he did like editing? Didn't he use the Japanese name? I'm surprised they still have him employed after that.
He's also the one that's in charge of the whole thing. Why their editorial? Why they don't want Spider-Man and Mary Jane to be married?
That's right. Because wasn't it Dan? It was an on high thing. It was like an editor thing.
Yeah. Dan saw you said you'll never see it again because editorial does not want it at all. And who's editorial in charge in chief? CB Cebulski. They blame Joe Quesada, but I mean, I think it was both.
Could be. I mean, because after Quesada left,
Quesada's gone.
Wasn't it? Cebulski took over right after Quesada left, right?
Yeah. Quesada's gone, so you can't blame him anymore because they could have just easily retconned it.
Right. Yeah. No. Totally. I think so. What if Cebulski pretty much just like lived Peter Parker's life, like he was that nerdy kid in high school, and he didn't get the girl? Like, I don't get the girl.
Wouldn't you at least want to fantasize it by living through Peter Parker?
That's what I would do, but I'm thinking common sense. Yeah. So. Sebulba from Phantom Menace.
And Dick Quinn says, just checked. Return of the Wicked Witch Oz has been set back. Has it really, dude? It's another book we could push back to the end of the year. Or not the end of the year, but the end of the freaking month.
I just skipped ahead to the last week of February.
It is weird. Because, dude, what was it? End of December. I had 4 freaking Zenoscope titles coming out at the same time.
Yeah, because those are quarterly books, aren't they?
Pretty much.
Yeah. I just skipped ahead to the last week of February. There are 13 books on my pull list on the last week of February. If you look at next week and the week after that, it's like 4 books, 5 books.
I gotta say, it's kind of crazy that you have you're getting this because it has Black Tom Cassidy in this.
Yeah. It's also got a crazy Russian terrorist mutant in there too. Omega Red.
Man with the peacock tattoo.
That's just an absurd sounding name, but
I look like the Sages in here, at least. They're getting Sage some love.
There you go. From Extreme X-Men.
Yep.
And Domino. I haven't read Domino in a book. Last time I read Domino in a book was when I read X-Force. That was back when they had the Utopia and like they all had like the black and the spy suits pretty much.
So you have and then you have. I said like probably the last time I read Domino anything was probably like a Deadpool book.
Yeah,
and that was that Bad Blood by Rob Liefeld, and she was actually written. Okay. Character.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah. I mean, let me know how it is. I mean, I might just browse back and kind of like, or actually, I'll go to comicvine.gamespot and look up this title and just see. I'll read through because I love how they do like a summarization of what's going on in the past 30 episodes or issues. That's why I caught up with Spider-Man, really.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I may do a little bit of like Jack Sparrow reading tonight. Maybe the first couple of issues.
Glenzer, hello. He is still a white guy with the but I think they dropped Black Tom. It's just called Tom Cassidy now.
That's so weird.
Well, it's kind of weird calling him Black Tom back in the day, unless you're saying that he is like an evil person. That's why the black part is.
Wouldn't they call him Uncle Tom if it was an evil person?
Well, if he was a black guy who was basically
Yeah. It's whatever.
Censorship. I love it. This makes everything great, Marvel.
What next? Are we going to start calling Blackbeard not Blackbeard when we talk about pirates and history? Come on.
Pirates don't exist. They're just less unfortunate people who didn't have the same white privilege as you.
Oh yeah, of course. That's why they had to.
That's why they're not called pirates anymore. Black Bull times later. We're just gonna call them What?
I heard that, and then I read Glinzer's comment about Black Bolt's time being limited.
Yeah, I know.
But he's going to be called White Bolt pretty soon. Or the Whisper.
Yeah. All right, so.
Oh, God. Okay.
Calm down there.
I know. I'm about to die. This coffee went down the wrong pipe.
You're going to die. Okay. I'm now seeking out applications for a new co-host.
All right. Yeah. Everybody get in your applications now.
Immortal Red Sonja number 10 is a book. It's the final issue. So that's why, Zach, you said you're going to drop it? Well, this is the last issue.
Of course, the final issue comes out. I thought it was an ongoing because it went way longer than I thought it was going to go. I thought it was like a 4 or 5 issue miniseries.
So this is the book I'm picky when it comes to Red Sonja, but not because a lot of people do not understand the character, will change the character like Gail Simone, and just ruin everything that people have been building up. So Dan Abbott is a guy who basically, whenever he touches, it just comes out gold. His run on Guardian's great. Aquaman, I'm trying to blank because I'm sure there's a lot more that he's written too. So not only this, I'm getting Red Sonja, Dan Abbott writing. I'm getting Red Sonja in King Arthur time period, crossing over with that. A lot of comedy, a lot of this. The art is decent on the inside, better than the Vincel Red Sonja. That was chibi art. Look, the only thing I would say about this, I would love to have Dan Abbott and have maybe Dan Mora or Frank Cho. Frank Cho needs to do some interiors.
God, Frank Cho on a Red Sonja book, like
we see his covers.
You charge $7 for that easily. I will buy it. Like,
yeah, of course, why not?
Yeah. And then if he does the interiors, shoot, you could charge $10. And
let Frank Cho continue his Jungle Girl series. He never got a chance. He still has volume 3. He didn't get the chance to do that.
Exactly. Let him finish his work. He was doing the Lord's work.
The Lord's work. Look, listen to you. You're getting divorced and you're already talking about Frank Cho being the Lord's work.
I would say that before the divorce. The guy is he's actually, I've seen some of his drawing videos on Instagram. Yeah. I'll give him credit. He doesn't discriminate. He does the male heroes too. He draws the beefcake guys for the ladies. He's just a good artist overall.
Hey, and Quinn, I'm on number 4. We'll be going into number 3 shortly after this.
Hey, Eloise, how you doing?
Hey, Eloise, thank you for the not the shout out, but the share on Twitter. I saw you sharing out the stream and everything. Awesome, thank you. There used to be a term used back in the day of Black Irish, which referred to Irish people with black hair and usually blue eyes. Marania, now you're just trying to make excuses. They were making fun of the black Irish immigrants.
Trying to make the rest of us look bad by sounding super smart.
With their piggy extended itchy types.
Like Ash. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Because Frank pretty much, they tried canceling him.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's not doing interior art. I was surprised he even got to do Fight Girls.
I was gonna say, well, didn't he? That wasn't a big 2. Was that Image that he did Fight Girls through? Or it was some smaller indie company.
I think it might have been Dynamite.
It could have been Dynamite. But he wouldn't be able to do one for the big 2. Yeah. I think he used to do a lot of work for Marvel. He did like a Shanna the She-Devil series.
So here's your cosplay cover.
I don't like that.
This is Gracie, and it actually looks like the character.
It's alright.
It's alright. And then you got I call this the Christmas one. I don't know. I go to like
they do look like Christmas lights. It looks very manga. That one I think it has a very strong like manga look.
Yeah, and it's the thing with Dynamite. Stop giving all these weird Dynamite covers. I mean, now this is Moss, I guess. This looks kind of like the art. This is the art you're seeing on the inside, kind of like the similar. Maybe a little better.
That looks better, I think, than the interior of the last one I read. I like that one.
And then here's the Michael C. Linzer.
The Linzer covers are the ones that I've been getting. I really like the
I
Wolverine.
just keep thinking like this is Dawn. It's here going down. It's pretty much how he draws every character like his wife, I guess, right? That was the thing. He basically bases his characters off his wife's body.
Hey, who just got Campbell does the same thing though. I mean, if you got the model, why not?
I like the black one. Ooh, I like this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that one does look cool. That's a little bit. Is that? Looks like it might be a different pose. I'm not sure, but I know I like that one better.
No, it's same pose.
Same pose. Okay.
It's just that it's a lot brighter because it got the white in the background. Instead of that one, it's shading here. You see this? It's just it's a little darker.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, she looks like a whore in this one with that eyeshadow.
Hooter.
All right, so let's go to your number 3.
He changed it up this week. Ash on Comics says, "Hey, you thighs."
Oh, AWA says does Fight Girls. Thank you, I did, Quinn.
AWA. See, for some reason I thought it was Image.
Yeah.
Hey, Ash, how you doing, man? Enjoyed y'all stream last night.
Did ya? I'm glad.
Yeah, I watched a good chunk of it. I tuned in right as y'all were doing y'all's pick one out of the row game.
And then we were next week's gonna be a little different because
I was about to say because y'all are done with the boys now, right?
The boys might be just do some comic book, just like we did for the first portion. Just have a comic book stream. We don't hang out stuff.
Shoot the shit, pretty much.
And then as far as the review parts. We're gonna switch it up. We're doing to me like 1 or 2 issues of recent books.
Okay.
Like maybe next Monday Nemesis and Junk. I mean, I think the other one was Junkyard Joe.
Oh, fun. Okay.
Ash will have to correct me because I think it's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
And I mean, because West, So if you have, this is for people who maybe you weren't reading the boys, but if you're reading some of the books that Ash and I are reading, crossing over, you can jump on and talk with us too.
Oh yeah, totally. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, that could work. That could be fun.
Yeah.
And Ash says you got it right. I think
hell yeah.
So Marani says pick one book out of the row game is also known as the torture me game. I think that is a really fun game. It's torture if there's 4 books that you like in the same row. That's the torture part.
Well, the other part is that there's no books you like.
That is also true.
And you know who the writers are.
Yeah, and it's like, because then I try to look at it as like, okay, if I'm a comic book shop owner, which one is going to do better?
But the other part was that where people started doing, it's like, well, you even started changing it up. Because remember, the whole point was, you're a comic book owner, retailer, seller. You're at the shop. You got to recommend one of the books out of the roll, and so basically, what this guy buy? You said Harley Quinn romances because I can flip this book.
I did because if I'm a comic shop owner and I can sell a $10 book, then that's more money. So and then the trick is,
Mirania's got based off covers. Yeah,
you have to be able to sell a Harley Quinn comic book. There's.
Honestly, go to any conventions. You can sell books. You can sell Harley Quinn stuff.
Oh, easily. And plus, if you had like the right cover, like at the Superman and Lois romance novel cover.
Wow. Yeah.
Easy. All right. We've got off into the weeds. We should probably get to the number 3 books.
Now we got to pay Ash because he owns the weeds.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. He always goes in the weeds and it's his, so.
That's right. He lives in California. It's legal out there. Actually, I think they're legal here in Louisiana too. I'm not sure.
They're legal until you get caught.
Everything's legal until you get caught. I mean, shoot. My number 3 is one that Vinkman knows because he guessed it before we went on stream. It is from Marvel Comics. I have actually been really liking this run. Some people have said otherwise, but I'm getting Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty. This is issue number 9. Number 9. This is my number 3 book of the week. It is from Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly, who I like most of what they've been writing. I don't think I've read anything from them that I outright hate. They're also writing the new Guardians of the Galaxy series coming out soon.
Carmen Carrero does the art, and this is the interior getting on the inside.
Carmen Canero, I think she might be one of the Stormbreakers, like one of like the new artists they're headlining.
Maybe.
I really like her art. I think she does a really good job.
Here is the Ron Lim.
I'm going for the Ron Lim one. I actually really like that Ron Lim cover. I don't know, something about it is just really cool. So yeah,
just get rid of this horrible bitch in the green. Get rid of her.
Hey, you leave.
Peggy should be dead.
You leave Haley Atwell's comic book counterpart alone, sir.
She should be dead. There's no reason that Peggy should be around. You brought back Bucky. Bucky was brought back expert. No, listen to me. Bucky was brought back perfectly by a talented writer.
Yes.
She was brought back horribly by a guy who could barely write.
Where was she killed, though? Like, was she killed, like, canonically? Was she killed in comics? Or
she old age. She never had a super soldier serum.
Well,
so.
See, are you sure? Because, like, even Nick Fury and Black Widow had, like, I think it was called, like, Legacy Serum or something, which, like, kept them immortal or at least stretched out their lifespan.
She was not alive because that's why they had, I believe it was in Stan Lee's Kirby's run. Wasn't they had introduced Sharon Carter?
Right. They introduced Sharon as Peggy's niece or great niece or something. Yeah. I'm not.
Brina's the expert when it comes to some of combos like that. She'd probably tell you.
I'm not saying it's the most logical thing or that it makes sense, but Peggy Carter is a big deal because of the movie and because they got a bombshell to play her in the movies.
They just want Capital Love Triangle. That's all it is.
Maybe it is.
And then you're gonna see Bucky hooking up with Peggy.
I think they're still gonna have Bucky with Bucky and Hawkeye are gonna have a Black Widow love triangle more than anything. But anyway, back to the book at hand though. I have been liking this. AIM has taken over Manhattan, and so Cap and these new invaders that he's put together are fighting AIM, which I like seeing the beekeepers in action. Everybody's always like, "Oh yeah, Cap fights Hydra." No, Cap fights AIM too. So
it Gil Kane.
Look, even Cap is being racist. He's beating up the apes.
Well, no, he's that's Gil Kane art right there.
It is. His head is tilted at just the right angle. Yep. You zoom in. George Bell didn't ink this, I presume.
He did.
But, I've been enjoying this. There's been a few bits here or there where the writing's been like, you could have done without it. But overall, like I said, nothing super offensive. The art has been good. I've been one of the people. I've been enjoying the story. So yeah, this is going to be. It hasn't been super. Nothing. Look, let's be real. Nothing is going to beat the Ed Brubaker run. So, in my opinion.
What the hell is this shit?
This is entertaining. Yeah, this is something they did with the Hulk cover, I think last week or 2 weeks ago.
The anatomy variant.
Where they're doing the anatomy, which is all right, I guess.
Why?
I don't know.
We're gonna teach you about our bodies and when in your no spots.
No, if it was gonna teach you about your bodies, they would have the little labels like this is your lung, this is your rib cage. Yeah, they don't do that. But yeah, it's been a fun series. I like it. Colin and Lansing, I mean, these two guys, I think because the two of them work together, they're just able to like double their work effort because they did where they do that Aquaman Flash team up that you read. What was it, Void Song? And now they've got Guardians of the Galaxy going on. They've done a ton of books together, but for both Marvel, DC, I think they've done some indie stuff too.
Well, they've been writing for like more than 20 years.
Yeah. So, like they have a Star Trek book I think they're writing too. So yeah, they're pretty good. I like them. So I've been liking the series so far. So that is why it lands in my number 3.
All right. Sorry, I was looking at you with Blake's comment about the planet. I'm just gonna say this. I just want a Captain America versus the Planet of the Apes. I want Captain America saying, "Get your damn dirty paws off me," or
I still think
call him Bright Eyes. They call him Bright Eyes because he's basically like the Charlton Heston. I want Charlton Heston Captain America. Give me that.
DC does apes better. They have Gorilla Grodd. They have Minshura Mala. They have Gorilla City. They do the apes better than Marvel.
DC does apes.
DC does apes better.
DC After Dark.
Okay,
All right. My number 3 is Moon Knight.
Nice.
Number 20. Wait, Blade's on the cover.
What?
But it's not Blade. It's just a guy with a blade.
It looks like Chameleon,
doesn't it?
There's a blood.
So
yeah.
So we got 2 stories in here. We got a backstory by Danny Lore, who I believe is it Danny Mickey or Danny Lore that Skip likes? The writer. Maybe it isn't Danny Lore. Might be a different Danny. But anyway, so there's blood on the streets. Assassins that work their way through a list of names containing those who once formed Moon Knight's shadow cabinet, but with a number of potential targets and no idea who's next. How can Moon Knight save his former associates? Plus, just in time for Black History Month, a second story in which the Crescent Crusader crosses paths with the sheriff of the Vampire Nation, Blade.
So that's what Danny Lore's writing.
Oh, oh my gosh. So Danny Lore is Rita Elea 2.0.
Yeah. You look up her credited list, and like the first 5 books you see, they're all like DC Pride books.
Well, dude, a lot of these characters, you see them like they did a Silver Surfer book out there. You look up who the writer is.
Yeah.
And you know where the writer's from? Marvel Voices.
Yeah.
It's sadly they put it's become where any Black writer or artist you want to like kind of before you could find them on any other books. Now when you look them up, they're all created with Marvel Voices or Genius. You know, it's like, is that all they're good? So if you're Black, you can't write anything else.
Heritage one. There's the Asian heritage one. There's
my point is it's so freaking racist because they won't let them write anything else.
Exactly. Oh no, it is. That's why I'm saying you can categorize them. Like, here are the Black writers, here are the Asian writers, here are the Hispanic ones, here are the queer ones, and you can just pull them. Okay, well, which one do we want for this character? Well, let's go back and look at Marvel Voices, whichever edition. It is. It's very racist.
Here's your Black History Month variant cover.
But and I've never read anything by Danny Lore. I mean, I am getting Moon Knight, but it's for Jed McKay. So.
Now, this is the one that Zach wants. Guy in a white hood going against a beating of a bunch of Black apes.
He said that. He said those words. Those did not come out of my mouth. It came out of his. So y'all direct your attention and all your jokes at the man on the top screen.
I like the Wolverine claws.
The Wolverine, yeah, that is pretty cool. And I like how they gave him that like Egyptian scythe or whatever it is.
Philip Tan variant.
That's pretty cool. I like that one.
Too much cape
and everything behind him. Yeah.
Too much cape.
Yeah. I don't hate too much cape.
I think ever since we got, between was it Todd McFarlane and Kelly Jones.
Todd McFarlane does do a lot of cape. So does Kelly Jones with the Batman. You got the big ears and the lot of cape. That's Kelly Jones.
Yep. Behind every guy in a hood in white is a Black guy. All right, moving on. All right, let's go to your number. Yeah, be number 2.
Undead Quinn is right. It is time to cancel RDV. Absolutely, sir. My number 2. I'm gonna change it up. Actually, if you were on last night's stream, this might not be too much of a change up. You might know where I'm going here. I'm going to go over to Image Comics, specifically the Mad Ghost portion of Image Comics. Oh. There's a murder mystery book being written by the great Peter Tomasi called Blood Tree. And Ash pointed it out last night. And, the more I look at Peter Tomasi's headshot, the more he looks like that cop from Heroes, the one who could read minds.
I don't know. The more I look at this, I keep thinking, it's Siphon Filter.
Yeah, I could see that.
Or what was that lady that was from Overwatch?
Which one?
The Widow?
Widowmaker.
Widowmaker, yeah.
Yeah, those are the Widowmaker goggles. Yeah. Widowmaker goggles and then Mercy's wings.
So here's my thing. The guy's not gonna have wings. He's just gonna have the thing on here.
Yeah, that's just on there because isn't he called like the Angel Killer or something?
Yeah.
Butcher called the Angel Killer. Yeah. So I think it's just like a thematic thing.
Does he go around and make people look like angels then? He kills them and puts wings on them?
Pretty elaborate if he does.
I mean, pretty obsessed, man. That takes a lot of time. I give you props for that.
I mean, that's what a lot of serial killers. They're very methodical, and they like if you watch like crime shows or true crime or whatever. Like a lot of serial killers, they like pre-plan out their stuff, and they're very meticulous and detail oriented.
Just give as long as you don't kill, give them a job where they can do that. They'll excel.
Yeah, but anyway, getting off the morbid part of the subject matter.
Let's talk more blood on the tree.
Yeah, right. This is being written by Peter J. Tomasi. So if you've read anything from him, Superman, Batman, Green Lanterns, this looks to be a little bit different. It is a murder mystery. It is a serial killer, but it's Tomasi, and Tomasi has earned more than enough street cred with me. I don't think I've seen this artist anywhere, Maxime Simek. I'm looking up his credits right now. He did like Escape from New York. There was Escape from New York as a comic book. I did not know that.
It was not that great.
Not that great? Oh, okay.
So cool. Hopefully the art's better than this.
Yeah. I mean, the covers look like they're done by Greg Smallwood.
Elvira, the Ship of Elvira, did art on that too.
Yeah.
Now then again, I'm not sure if he did interior that, but he did interior for Escape from New York. Issue number 9, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And some other stuff. But like I said, hopefully it turns out to be well. Sometimes the art can be bad, but you can actually like the story, and it kind of art grows on you.
Oh, absolutely. And with Tomasi here, I have no doubt that the writing will be good. I'm really curious to see how the art goes. I'm thinking it'll have to be well because Tomasi's like a top tier talent. I don't think he would do a book with somebody with like mediocre skills.
So Gary Frank is the one we showed here. This is Gary Frank's cover.
Oh, that's the Gary Frank one. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's a woman wearing pants and she's a cop.
What?
It's woke. It's
Renee Montoya. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, no, I'm excited about this. A Peter Tomasi book and Mad Ghost. They're the ones that have been doing the Geigerverse books that Jeff Johns has been writing. So they're like my favorite part of Image.
There we go. We could have Chris Hemsworth play this role.
No, he looks more like James Marsden to me.
That's a very sexist cover. He's telling the woman to stay back. I got this.
Stay back, even though she has a gun too.
I know.
Actually, he's pushing her into the guy's arms. Like the angel killer's right behind them.
The arms of an angel, right?
He's pushing her back, and so he's saving himself. But yeah, number 2 is Tomasi. It's a murder mystery. I like murder mysteries. So that is why this is my number 2 book of the week.
Number 2. All right. Undead Quins, number 2 is Purgatory Must Die. Number 2, cover B. By Chrome. All right. My number 2 is a book that I discovered. I didn't get a chance to read the first volume, so I'm kind of jumping into the middle of it. Well, it's a new story with characters that existed from the first round. Some would say it's almost the fallout of it. Let's go down. Where is it? That's on here. Yes, that was a pun because the Red Winter Fallout. There's Scout Comics. So this guy, Joseph Winter, basically was involved in some stuff going down, and he's in Russia, and one of the worst areas, worst parts of Russia, and this woman named basically saves him, and even though he has no idea who she is nor why she cares, if his head is still attached to his shoulders, whatever. And it says here, either way, he's now on the run with her, trying to stay one step ahead of Vasily Andropov's. And then this guy's gang, Russian gang mob, who are out for blood because it starts off in the very first issue where there's a cop there and I can hear myself again. I think you have it too close to the speaker.
I haven't done anything. Like my speaker is still covered up, so
I,
I haven't done anything.
I don't know. So basically, yeah, there's the very first issue. There's you come across there's a bunch of dead people in this factory, and one of them is a foreigner. Between these two Russian gangs. So yeah, and this guy, this detective's trying to figure out what at the for the massacre, and he finds himself in contact with another mysterious woman claiming to be the American podcaster researching the gangs for a show. So it's like a thriller story that takes place in Russia with some CIA agents, former agents, who we suspect might be the Russian woman. She's a former Langley spy for Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy is just caught in the middle of everything, and it just feels like you're watching a TV show. It's that well done.
Very cool.
Ash, please do not come here to solicit men to play with you.
He's trying to get people to go play Destiny 2.
I know.
Or not Destiny, Division 2. Destiny 2 is the better game.
You should play with me.
I played the Division 2 for like a handful of days. I don't think he does the tee-hee part. That sounded weird. I can't see Ash doing that.
I always think of Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah. Yeah, freaking Zach Galifianakis. I remember that guy. Whatever happened to him?
All right. Yes, in Russia, comic books review. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is a very, very indie book. Another one of books. It's through Scout Comics. Either you can find it in the shop if you're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times they'll have to order for you because it's very, very indie.
Right.
And it's not available anywhere unless you buy it through the website, Scout Comics. That's I mean, I haven't tried eBay, but then again, I don't like paying $8 for shipping.
That's fair.
For a $4 book. It's actually a $5 book now. Yeah, it's $5. I'm great about that. So it's like I said, and I took a chance at it, not knowing what it just sounded like a really gritty kind of like a crime story, espionage and all stuff, spies, Russians. Yes, because I like reading about the Russians. Okay, so it worked out pretty well. Now you got this Nazi Russian gangster in here. Sorry, Zach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure you are.
That's the guy on the cover. You see him with the thing on his forehead, a tattoo.
He looks like the leader from Marvel, like when he was with the. There was like a Thunderbolts run where he had red skin instead of green skin.
So this is issue 1. This is the detective.
It's Old Man Logan.
Right, and I love it. The little friend where you see that the snow and everything. It's like I just love stories. And here's the rest. You see the covers here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are pretty cool covers, actually.
I know. Look at that. It has the blood. When we run across the blood, the city in the background drop. Not sure about this. Very reference the woman who basically was an American spy. Whatever. Right. Man, and just like, of course, because KGB's involved. I think this takes right around the 80s, or right around the end of the Cold War.
Cold War stuff. Yeah.
So the guy doesn't. Yeah. Like they are trying to. So anyway, so basically, cops can only investigate so much. They don't have so much power to investigate because there's all these political ties and stuff. And I just really love the real espionage. And if you want to find stuff like this too, I would recommend reading or not reading, but watching the latest season of Jack Ryan. That was really good too.
I still need to watch that.
It's the Russians too involved too.
It's sitting in my on my Amazon watch list, just waiting for me.
Yes. All right, so that's my number 2. All right.
Number 2. And
I'm not sure what MCS is, Lucian or Jay.
MCS is maybe some comic shop.
I don't know. Well, I don't order off of my comic shop. Never really have done it before. I heard some people do. But I gotta get the original one. It's just called Red Winter.
Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of floppy. I don't get a lot of floppies online. I know every now and then, like Skip will send me some books. But if I get comics off the internet, like through eBay or whatever, they're going to be trades or hardcovers or something like that. I don't do floppies.
Same here. I mean, if they have the first one in a volume collected, I'll buy it hardcover or soft cover, whatever they have, But
yeah.
So, all right, let's go to your number. Did we do number 2? You did your number 2, right?
We did. Yeah, we're on the number 1.
Number 1.
Number
Count
1.
From 5 to 1.
We will count down the books. I'm not going to use that voice though. It's too exhausting. Okay, number 5. I'm starting off with Lady Zorro, Final Fight number 1. That is from American Mythology Comics. Number 4. I'm shocking even myself, going with X-Force number 37 from Benjamin Percy. My number 3 is Captain America and the Sentinel of Liberty number 9. Number 2, going back to indie books, we're going to get Blood Tree number 1 from Peter J. Tomasi. And my number 1 book, which I feel very strongly is probably your number 1 book.
So I'll just count.
Go ahead and count. Yeah.
My number 5 was Batman Legends of the Gotham. Mortal Red Sonja was my number 4. Number 3 was Moon Knight. You just saw Red Winter Fallout was my number 2. So my number 1, just like yours, is the Flash 1 Minute War Special.
Yeah, buddy. This one, so I was doing a little bit. I read a review on it, trying not to spoil it for myself. And this one seems like an anthology type book. Like I think it's 3 or 4 short stories in here instead of just one continuous story.
I don't mind that.
I don't mind that at all. It's different from what we've expected, but I think Jeremy Adams is writing all of them though.
Yeah, it's because there's multiple artists on here too.
Yeah, each story has a different artist, but I think Jeremy Adams wrote all the stories. So,
which is cool because I was telling it because he was excited about the whole Flash, all that stuff coming out with DC releases. I said, like, dude, I want you to take on Booster Gold too. Bring Booster Gold into the Flash universe. And like, I was geeking out. I was like, dude, I don't even care. You could just do a one-shot tie-in if you want to, and have Dan Jurgens pencil it.
Look, why not? They had Wally West guest star in 2 issues of Nightwing. Like, yeah, why not? No, I love this cover. First of all, that is an awesome cover. I've been loving this. I found out actually in the last week, someone told me, and I'd have to go back and verify and see if it was true. But I think the last 2 issues of The Flash had to go back for second reprintings. So it tells me that people are starting to pick up this series.
I did tell you, when the Mary Sue praises the Jeremy Adams Flash stories,
it's kind of like a weird, it's a weird thing because it's like, why is the Mary Sue praising it? But then
because it's a balance. It's not hardcore left. It's not hardcore right. It's right in the middle.
It's right in the sweet spot. Yeah. You got the family book, and if I'm correct, most of this book does focus on the family. I don't think it focuses so much on Wally. I believe a lot of it focuses on like Jay and Irie, and
so they're gonna have a foil cover for this.
I love. That's cool looking.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get that one, the version.
So 1 in 25. So
yeah, that one's awesome.
It's probably gonna be like $13 or $11. Who knows?
I bet you.
I've also
13, 15. Yeah.
Because I've also seen the 1 in 25s on some of these titles where they're only like $6. It's weird.
I think it depends on how many the store orders in the first place. That probably has something to do with it. But yeah, I know Fernando Pasarin is one of the artists. He's been the main artist on the book, so I know he does have a story in here that he's drawing. The rest of these guys, I can't say I'm too familiar with. George Cambadais, Lissandro Escarin, and Serge Acuna. So,
the other great thing about this, we're getting Impulse, original Bart, who said, and he had him teaming up with Wallace, and Wallace kind of feels showed up by Bart. And Bart, he's like, what do you jealous? You want to be Kid Flash? He's like, I've been there, done that. I don't need to do that. I'm Impulse. and they kind of put down one another, but then they kind of learn to work together a little bit in the crossover. So I like that, and then we got Barry Allen. For those who said, "Oh, I miss Barry Allen. Where's Barry Allen?" Barry Allen is in here. He's in the book here. He's in the story.
Yeah.
So you have Barry and Wally, and I love the fact that it's distinctive as far as Barry and Wally's costumes. Where I believe Wally has the on the left side.
Wally is the one that has the white eyes.
The white eyes.
No pupils.
Yeah.
And then Barry is the one with its like his normal eyes. Also, I believe Wally has the really simple lightning bolt. It looks like an S. When you have Barry's, I think it's got more of a zigzag.
Yeah, it's more the thicker. Yeah.
Yeah.
More like a Power Rangers logo.
Yeah, more like a Power Rangers. Exactly. Yeah.
But I love Barry. You see the cover here. Barry's mask only goes under his eyes. It doesn't go under his nose.
Right.
Where Wally's covers his whole entire nose, almost like a Batman.
Almost like Batman. Actually, yeah, Wally's cowl, it's almost like Batman, except it doesn't have the ears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, they did tease about Iris wanting to have kids with Barry. I would love to see if they actually put this in the motion. So they actually introduce the kids of Barry and Iris eventually down the line, like they do with Wally.
Mm-hmm.
We've also, in the Josh Williamson, we've got to meet the grown-up versions of Wally's kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw some previews of this, as far as this, they showed Jai's in here. Jai is a little bit drawn, a little older, a little taller.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering which version of Jai this is. Because remember, Jai is he's frozen in the last issue.
Yes.
Because he doesn't have a speed force. He only has speed.
He doesn't have the speed force. He gets his powers from something else. Yeah. Evil Black Cat. Barry came back after what was the last of it? Dark Crisis.
Yep.
Barry came back after Dark Crisis. You don't need to read the Dark Crisis event itself.
No.
Barry is in there a little bit, but you can just read the Flash tie-in series. It was actually a good tie-in series. The JSA was in there too. Barry was in there. I think Max Mercury was also in there.
Yeah.
So, and even though Barry is back, Jeremy Adams has said that for as long as he's on the title, it will be Wally that he writes. So it's not going to switch back and forth between Wally and Barry.
No, but Barry will be a part of the story.
Oh yeah. Unless they suddenly, inevitably, they're going to bring the Justice League back at some point by the end of the year, I'm sure.
Well, yeah.
They'll probably put Barry on the Justice League because Wally's on the Titans now. Unless they break up the Titans when the Justice League comes back. I don't know. But stop saying that, Jay. I swear, if I had $1 for every time you or Breen or somebody said Tom Taylor was going to take over the Flash, if I had $1 for every time, I could buy.
Can we just call him?
books.
I don't want to call him Tom Taylor anymore. I'm just going to call him Tiny Tim.
I'm not. I just don't care enough. Look, his Deceased book is great. Sure. I'm gonna try Titans. I'll give it 1 or 2 issues, mainly more for Nicola Scott's artwork more than anything, because Nicola Scott draws some darn good Titans artwork. But yeah, I'm not going and expecting a whole lot of talent. Although Tom does seem to write like books with a large cast of characters. He does seem like he writes those better than the single.
Yeah, and I like I said, no disrespect to Wes. He may have heard a rumor from somebody who didn't really know.
Wes has talked about that though. He's talked about he mentioned
he does have Wes does know people, and they know people.
That's true. I didn't see that video though. I'll have to go back and look for it. The only video I saw from him today was talking about the DC movies.
Also, Jeremy Adams is taking over for Green Lantern.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to be coming off of Flash though.
No, I think that's be a limited series. I don't think it's be ongoing because I think they're going to have. Yeah, because wasn't Mariko Tamaki supposed to be running a Green Lantern ongoing?
Green Lantern is an ongoing.
Is it an ongoing?
How Jordan is an on. It is. It is supposed to be an ongoing. It was JSA actually. There was an interview that Jeff Johns did with somebody. I forgot his name. Somebody on Wes's channel directed me to it and said that when DC was putting out solicits they mistakenly put like limited series run on his new JSA books. And of course, the solicits only go up to like 10 or 12 or whatever. But Jeff Johns said that was a typo. It was a mistake. So as far as I know, JSA is an ongoing.
Like,
and
I'll just say that with the DC as far as comic books, they're going a step in the right direction, but they need to get rid of the bad writers. Like, you need to get rid of Cheney Howard. You need to get rid of your Jody Hauser.
You know what? I won't even say that. Here's what I'll say. You don't have to get rid of them. You don't have to get rid of Mariko or Vita Al, whatever. DC, you brought back the multiverse or the 52. Put them on Crazy World, Earth number 5 or Earth number 69, 420, whatever.
Yeah, let them do Elseworlds.
Have them do all their crazy stuff on an Elseworlds book. Now, and if there are enough fans that love it enough to buy it, then great, they'll have that. But
you're going to have Vita and Megan Fitzmartin and Vita Elena. Let them let them write the Valsada universe as far as the Black Justice League. Let them do that.
What I saw today? I don't know where this came from, but somebody posted an image of this and it cracked me up. Part of it cracked me up, and then part of me was kind of impressed. So apparently Jace Fox is with Vixen now, but Vixen is like they've covered up Vixen a lot recently. Like, people forgot that apparently she's a supermodel, but I think they've gone back to like her old costume. So part of it made me laugh because Jace Fox, really? But then another part of me was like, oh, they put Vixen back in her original costume. Okay. It's like a give and take. I'm not defending trash. I'm just saying you don't have to fire people, Ash. You can just stick them off in some corner, let them make all their crap for an Elseworlds book, and if it sells, then you can keep them there.
I mean, you can
defending them. I'm just saying you don't have to fire them.
I said you can do that. You can also, if you want to, you can have them just have editors,
Have editors. Exactly.
Yeah, that's all you really need. You only have to fire them. If they can't hack it, well, maybe this isn't the place for you.
It happens. It's But so 3 Javins so far. I gotta say, DC has been filling me with a good. Like, I'm not saying they're suddenly perfect. Like you were saying, they still have a bunch of bad writers on stuff. But I mean, recently a bunch of these announcements, like the Green Lantern announcement, bringing Jeff Johns back, all of this stuff, even the James Gunn movie stuff, some of it has given me like, okay, I could get behind this. Some of it sounds like really good ideas. So,
right.
Not all of it, but more than Marvel is doing. Like, what's Marvel got? They got Moon Knight. Guardians is coming out soon with a series that could potentially be good. There's like a handful of other things, but DC is like, as far as I'm concerned, they're offering up a lot more content for me.
All right, so since it was brought up earlier, we're gonna go to talking about James Gunn's DC universe.
James, or as my brother calls him, the comic book movie equivalent of Colonel Sanders, because his hair is
so 10 movies and shows being released beginning in 2025. So
wait, they all come out in 2025? I know the Superman movie is, but like
Superman Legacy. So we're gonna have that July 11th, 2025. It's called Superman Legacy. It's not a good origin story. It's gonna focus on Clark's struggle to balance his life with his human one. It'll also explore being a beacon of kindness in a world that believes kindness is old-fashioned.
I like that. I don't mind that description.
So the other one is The Authority. We got The Authority. Was an early Wildstorm book, I believe.
Yes.
Or was it Vertical? I can't remember. It was Vertical.
It was Wildstorm.
Gunn says he's a huge fan of this. So he's going to bring this in. This is going to bring in Apollo and Midnighter.
Apollo. Not Paulo. Paulo comes in usually late at night here, but Apollo. Yes. You're right. And I made a joke earlier. I was like, Marvel better step it up. Otherwise, DC is going to beat them to the first original gay character on the screen.
Right, yeah. And
now retconned characters, but not original characters.
So listen to the authority, the explanation. They explore anti-heroes who have good intentions while having to go to the extreme due to how broken the world is. Sounds like The Boys.
It kind of does. I think this was also. I think this was also the template for the Ultimates. It sounds weird. I was watching actually before I hopped on tonight. I was watching Wes's video on this, and he brought up a good point. Like, how does the Authority and Superman exist in the same universe? So unless they're already starting to lay down the work for like an Infinite Crisis or a multiverse, I don't know. I don't know. They could be thinking of this like 4D chess and be like 10 steps ahead. But yeah, Authority. Look, people that like the Authority. I'm not a super big Authority fan, but yeah.
We also have The Brave and the Bold, which now, if you watch Ingleteen's stream earlier around noon today, he mentioned, why are you calling it Brave and the Bold? Just call it All-Star Batman and Robin, or just call it Batman and Robin. You know?
I don't mind Brave and the Bold.
Brave and the Bold should be a TV series. You know, if we're gonna do this, we have Batman teaming up with other heroes, or other. Not only say to be all Batman, it can be Green Arrow, Green Lantern, Flash, Green Lantern, all different kind of characters, and it should be like on HBO Max.
I don't mind the name. I like that. Look, I just like that we could be getting a Batman and Robin movie that's not a total joke. So
also. It's because this is Batman and Robin. This is Damian Wayne. Damian Wayne by Grant Morrison based off this.
Yes.
We're gonna have Damian being here. We're gonna also we're gonna have the Bat Family being brought in. So we already have established that he has a son. This is an older Batman. We're not starting at the beginning.
Right.
Which thank you, because we already have that with Pattinson. We don't need another one.
Yeah. We don't need another Batman origin story. I like Damian Wayne. I used to not like him. I used to think he was an obnoxious little snot. Now he's probably my favorite Robin. Dick Grayson is good, but I like him better as Nightwing, as his own hero. Red Hood, I used to like. Now I'm just kind of iffy on him. Tim Drake too. They're kind of just indifferent to me. Depends on the stories that they're in. But Damian Wayne, especially recently, like, you know, if you've been reading Lazarus Planet, Damian Wayne has recently like kind of stepped up, and he's become, I think, a really interesting, far more interesting character. And he was pretty interesting when he first came on the scene. So I like that they're going with Damian. I think it's about time they tried the whole Robin thing again, because you had like the whole Chris Nolan trilogy, not really a Robin in there. Then you've got the new Batman with Matt Reeves directing, no Robin in there. I think Batman, I'm interested to see if they can nail the dynamic between Batman and having Robin in the same movie. I think that could be gangbusters if they get it right.
Trying to see if they tell me what. Well, you can go on his actual Twitter page, and he listed out. But so apparently we know about Superman Legacy is going to be in 2025. The Authority, it's to be announced. They haven't announced when it's going to be.
Yeah, TBD.
Same with the Brave and the Bold. It hasn't been announced either.
Mm-hmm.
The next one coming up though is Supergirl.
Supergirl.
This is the Tom King basically copy of True Grit. Bringing this on the screen, they're just giving you True Grit with basically Supergirl.
I mean, look, if you're going to copy off of a movie, True Grit's not bad.
Could this be considered a parody, or could it be considered a legal issue between the people who own True Grit?
I don't think. No, I mean, everything is a copy off of something. I mean, Ash, cover your ears. Avatar is a copy of Pocahontas, just in space. This is the same thing. It's just a copy of True Grit, just in space. Now, I didn't read it. The last Supergirl that I read was like the Peter David trade. There's been some other stuff I've read with Supergirl in it, but this is really, Ash says it right there. Stories copy all the time.
So here's the other thing too. So this is gonna be the angry Supergirl. This is the one with the chip on her shoulder, not the one we see, not the ones we've seen where she's like all happy and all lovely. No, this is the one who watched her planet die, and then it's been stuck, in a suspended animation. Comes out, and now she has to join a new world, and she's angry because she lost her world, and she's going through some PTSD. I
would like it better if that was Power Girl. I think it would work better. But Supergirl, I'm just used to Supergirl being like cheerful, and maybe it's just because I'm remembering the Justice League animated series where she was more like cheerful and just trying to live up to Superman's name and everything.
All they have to do is just do an animated show called World's Finest with Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
They did it back in the day. You had the Batman animated series,
Yeah.
and then you had new animated series, and you had the Superman animated series, and there was a Power Hour, the Batman Superman hour.
Yeah.
And they crossed over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why couldn't they just do that again? Because that would get more people into that. And in between, it said check out, World's Finest currently in shops right now.
I do think it's an interesting choice that, okay, you've got a Batman movie and you've got a Superman movie.
Yeah.
It's 2/3 of the Trinity, but you don't have a Wonder Woman. You're going to go to Supergirl instead.
Yes.
It's interesting to me. And look, I don't know what their whole plan is. They've got like a 10-year plan they're working on. But, all
right.
This was the announcement that I was not super gangbusters about.
Yeah, there's something like Swamp Thing. Okay, impressed me. That's all I'm going to say because I love the DC Universe original. Was it DC Online or what's called the original with
show for HBO Max?
Yeah, the original Swamp Thing show, the one that get canceled, they didn't continue.
Right after one season, yeah,
with Krista Reed. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that we're getting another show. Maybe is it going to be as awesome as the one that got canceled? They decided not to continue because it was too much money, or is it going to be subpar, or it will be a completely bonkers and just maybe awesome.
Maybe this will be what Doctor Strange 2 was supposed to be. Maybe this will actually be like a legitimate horror movie.
So it's
in a superhero world.
It's exploring the dark origin story of Swamp Thing. So the dark which we got at the other show was kind of a mystery / honestly, I would get Ram V on here and be like, hey, can you give us some pointers?
Totally. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ram V, his series was so good. It was wasn't it supposed to be like a 10-issue miniseries and they expanded it to 16?
Yeah, because people loved it.
Yeah. I would have kept him on there.
That's what happens when you put good writers on books that are normally written by crappy writers. You're like, holy crap, Robert Venditti's on this. More people jump on to buy it. Now, but the problem is with Venditti, they put him on Hawkman.
Which was a phenomenal run for Hawkman.
Phenomenal run, sure, but
he is more of a C-list hero.
Exactly. The normies don't really know him.
The normies don't. Which, now, to be fair, half of this list is stuff that normies don't know. Like, normies don't know who Swamp Thing is.
With Hawkman. Well, they know enough that Swamp Thing's been around. They probably saw it on the CW. Was airing the first season.
Maybe, yeah.
With the fact that Hawkman was just in that movie with Black Adam.
Yes.
It's time to have a Hawkman series.
It would be. Or Dr. Fate or Cyclone. Yeah. To be fair, it'd also be a good time to put those characters from the Black Adam movie in the JSA comic book. But,
so that was it for the movies.
Yes, that's the movie.
The only one we know the date is basically starting off with Superman.
And that's probably going to be the first one, I would imagine.
Because it said we're going with Shazam. He loves that. How it's got to tie into the Flash, which is going to reset everything with Aquaman.
So we're getting Flashpoint, essentially. Flash is going to be the Flashpoints, which is great. Let's do the Flashpoint story without any build-up to the Flashpoint. I hate Flashpoint so much.
And there's no Reverse Flash in it.
Actually, you know what? I take that back. If Flashpoint gets us to revert the whole thing, I'm okay with Flashpoint. Not Ezra Miller, but
Ezra Miller is the hero and the villain in his story. Did you hear about that?
Yeah. He's also the hero and the villain in his own life. Well, he's more the villain, but that's why he has to use certain pronouns because he does both roles.
They, them, yes.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Anyway,
all right. And also hello to Rachel. Thank you for showing up, man. Creature Commandos is the first show they released. Now
I am excited. This is the thing I'm most excited about. I saw the artwork for this one. I was like, yes.
So I love Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos. Yeah, it's animated series.
Yep.
It could be more along the lines of like a 90s animated cartoon.
I think it's going to be a little bit more violent. I'm thinking, I don't know. It kind of gave me they could go Invincible with it. It's werewolves, it's Frankenstein, it's mummies and gorgons and monsters. I think that they could totally go the Invincible route and have them just like ripping Nazis' arms off and just be really, really violent.
Yeah. Also, everything on here is going to be on HBO Max. Nothing else is going to be on CW or nothing else. So
it'll be whenever HBO and what's it, Discovery. I think they're combining them into one.
It's called a Max.
Platform. Yeah. It'll be the same thing, but yeah.
Yes. So anyway, Creature Commandos will center around Rick Flag, Senior,
not Junior.
Who was set to appear elsewhere in live action, portrayed by his voice actor.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have Nina Mazurki. We're gonna or Zersky, I get whatever. Dr. Phosphorus, Eric Frankenstein, the Bride of Frankenstein, who is basically the protagonist, and GI Robot and Weasel.
And there's a werewolf that's supposed to be in there too. But
yes.
Yeah.
All right, and then we get. So the next show we get is Waller. Now, this was already previously announced before. It's a spin-off series moving with Viola Davis, the set star, and it's going to be take place between Peacemaker seasons 1 and 2. Because Gunn doesn't have time for Peacemaker right now, Doom Patrol executive producer Jeremy Carver and Watchmen scribe Crystal Henry are basically heading up the series. Now, this being said,
Watchmen the show or Watchmen the movie?
I don't know, but it says Watchmen scribe.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing Watchmen
might be the show.
And Doom Patrol. Not everybody likes it. It's one of those shows.
It was a sleeper. I think it was a sleeper hit. I think a lot of people underestimated it when it first came out, but I think it did a lot better than people expected. Now, that being said, Doom Patrol and the vibe that show had, and then Peacemaker.
Yeah. Watchmen,
very different vibes.
Yes, and Watchmen was crap.
Yeah, Watchmen the show was trash.
So then we get here Lanterns. This is basically now.
This is another win.
We were like, I can sit here. Is this Greg Berlanti's Teen Lantern show, or will it center around Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, or is this a whole new thing? Yeah. But it says according to DCU, saying detective mystery with Green Lantern serving as super cops on Earth. Why are space cops on Earth?
Because because Earth is a part of space, and if they're in the Earth precinct, 2814 is the Earth precinct. So maybe there's aliens that crash on Earth. I don't know. That's happened before, countless times.
I know, but there's so many here.
I like this a lot.
This is the problem with Lanterns. The Lanterns are supposed to be space cops.
Okay.
I love them being away from Earth because Earth has over 5 billion heroes.
I get that, but this isn't going to have the other 5 billion heroes. This is just going to have Hal and John. And by the way, let's focus. It is Hal and John. You're not getting Simon Baz. Sadly, it doesn't look like Kyle Rayner or Guy Gardner, but you're not going to get, what's her name, Joe Mullane or Mellon, whatever her name is, or Teen Lantern. It's Hal and it's John. He said there might be a few other lanterns peppered in there, like cameos or whatever, but Hal and John, I mean,
right, yeah.
I'm excited, and I think that the shows are supposed to have the same level of like special effects and quality as the movies. So
all right, so Ronnie says if Waller isn't an animated show with Froggy voice in the wall, I'm not sure I'm interested in. Oh,
you and that.
You want to hear it? Is it Eric Cartman the whole time? On the wall. Expect my thought to.
All right. Paradise Lost is basically it's called Paradise. Well, I guess Paradise Lost, the L word. Is that what it's going to be? It's a prequel series. In a style of Game of Thrones. I'm getting scared right now because I don't know what they're going to do. Focusing on the origin of Themyscira before Diana Prince's time. So if they're doing that, George Perez run issues 1 through 6.
I'm
That's
sorry.
What you're going forward. Nothing else.
You did it before Wonder Woman, you lost me. Now, if you did it after Wonder Woman, where you have like Artemis and Nubia, maybe a few other, like Donna Troy, okay, you got my interest. But you're doing this before Wonder Woman and all the Wonder Girls. So I'm sorry. I like the concept of Themyscira and everything, but there's not enough interest in this. And I'm tired of everybody wanting to do a new Game of Thrones. Like, let Game of Thrones be its own thing. Just do your own thing. Good Lord.
Joe Mullen's fine ass is Eric Green. Anyway. CSI 2814 says Jay. Now, Doom Patrol wasn't bad. There was some low comments. but it wasn't like
that was
Watchmen.
the start. That was the start of the Brendan Fraser renaissance that we're in right now. I think is always Doom Patrol.
It's going to be a Les Fest. Is John Stewart even a Green Lantern anymore? I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, he still is. He's still got that series that Philip Kennedy Johnson is doing.
Yeah.
So, what if it was me? I would have him be like the ultraviolet lantern that he was in Scott Snyder's run. That was really cool because he could control like the ultraviolet light spectrum. That I thought was neat. But
yeah, and I'm going to pray they're gonna Greg Rucka it. This is how Dana was really made between two moms.
Zeus throws a lightning bolt down between them. Okay, never mind. Anyway, hey, last show that also sounds like a good one. Booster Gold.
Yes, this is.
This sounds good. This sounds really good.
Can it please be better than the crap they put on CW? I don't want Scrubs actors playing.
Oh, it's not going to be the Scrubs actor.
I know, but I want better effort than that.
Oh, totally. I look, they didn't even give him. Well, yeah, they couldn't even give him the proper costume for some reason or other. They could just give him like a.
I will say this: if you want to see how Booster Gold is supposed to be done, check out Smallville. They had the
episode of Smallville, wasn't he? I forgot about that.
Yes, he had all the different like patches on some sponsors on because he was all
sponsored. Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, but this sounds like it could be funny. I think, and so. Here's me personally. If I was somebody that had clout with DC and Warner Brothers, I would want to do an animated series, but I would want to do like a Justice League International show, but have it be like a sitcom. Because that's pretty much what Justice League International is. A sitcom, but it's got like some heart and some like feel-good moments too. But this sounds great though. So it's Booster Gold coming to the past and just like he steals technology to become a superhero. It sounds funny. I think it could be really good. I would like if they had Blue Beetle in there too, like Ted Kord Blue Beetle, because we know that they are still releasing the Jaime Reyes movie.
Right.
And maybe Ted Kord will make an appearance in that one. There were rumors of that going around. So, who knows?
I mean, if we're gonna give me Booster Gold, Zach, I want the good Booster Gold. I want the Jandargans. I want
Skeets.
Citizens of Metropolis, behold, Booster Gold. Traveling back through time from the year 2462 AD, Booster Gold has come to battle today's wrongdoers. Booster Gold, protecting his past to ensure your future.
I thought he was Green Lantern.
That's the version I want. That's my Booster Gold, and I'm sticking with that.
I think that would be a good version to have. Rachel makes it. Oh, what if you got the actor who played Homelander to play Booster Gold?
I said this before, and people.
I can see that. I can see that.
He's too old. That's all I ever hear. It's too old. Well, maybe we want older. We want actors.
Well. There's a point, especially if you want like a lot of these companies want to make these into like full long-going franchises. In that case, the Homelander guy might be a little too old.
So I wanna ask something. Jay was mentioning that Tom King is doing a Justice League series or show or lads. I don't know if he's just being trolling or if you're being legit.
I don't know. They said that Tom King was part of like this group of writers who is helping like come up with not just the movie, but like all the whole like ongoing chapter or universe or whatever.
Oh, you're joking. Okay. I was like, I don't think he would be doing a movie, Tom King, but Tom King is
you, Jay.
But Tom King is supposed to be coming on to help pen the Supergirl movie.
Supergirl, yeah.
That's what I heard. Thanks to our friend LK who brought that up a while back.
I mean, how's he going to self-insert himself into Supergirl? No jokes. Right as I was saying that, I knew someone would
self-insert with that.
Maybe he writes better for screenwriting than he does for comics. I don't know, but
who knows?
I don't know. But yeah, we did find out. Yeah, Shazam. It looks like Zachary Levi's role is safe as Shazam. It looks like Jason Momoa is still going to be Aquaman. I know some people are bummed because they wanted to see him be Lobo, but what you gonna do?
When they come for you,
exactly. And then Matt Reeves' Batman is going to be in Elseworlds. Todd Phillips' Joker 2 is I think that's in production. And so that's just going to be labeled Elseworlds. So overall, yeah, I mean, there was some stuff here. Like, I like the Creature Commandos announcement. I like what it sounds like they're going to be doing with Superman. I know it's not Henry Cavill. And I know there's a bunch of Snyder Cut enthusiasts that want Henry Cavill back. The ship has sailed, guys. I don't think it's going to happen. He's already signed a deal with Amazon to do a Warhammer show. But I am excited to see where the new Superman movie goes. Yeah, they didn't. I read somewhere. So James Gunn said it's not that they fired Cavill; they just decided not to hire him. They didn't cast him, which I don't see a difference really. It's like, okay, well, whatever. But
it's just, and the problem with this is them basically going this route. There's a lot of us who decided they didn't want to. Well, the older we get, Brian is in his 60s. There are people in their 70s who are fans of this stuff.
Yeah,
and by the time they get to see this stuff, they'll be dead because 10-year plan is like.
Yeah.
What do they say me at the end? Well, by 10 years, you go, you're not even there out there. Hopefully it doesn't happen to our friend Eric Breen. He's an awesome guy. A lot of knowledge, man. So,
hey,
Breen,
if he does, he can't stop us when we show up to his house to take his comic collection.
So, all right.
He would ever do that.
So we're going to go back here again. I want to show off the trades coming out this week.
Yeah, there are a few trades.
So we got Dan Slott, Volume 3 hardcover.
I'm just getting the floppies. I'm not going to bother getting the hardcover.
Yeah, but we got some. I'll make it a little bigger so you guys can see this. Frank Miller, Klaus Janson, Omnibus. This is $100.
There you go, Ash. Just for you.
Everything you see on this stuff here, look on In Stock Trades. INSTOCK and TRADS.
And on the off chance you can't find it there, you can try Organic Priced Books. They do a lot of these hardcovers and trade collections.
You'll find a lot of the stuff Marvel DC really jacks up the price, and you find these people are giving like $100 for this omnibus of the Daredevil.
Yeah,
it'll be like $75.
75, maybe 65. Yeah. That Silver Surfer Epic Collection looks cool over
doesn't it?
Thanos, yeah.
So like that's coming out this week. That
looks really cool.
All right. What else do we got here? We got you said Milestone Compendium 2.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know if that collects the new stuff or the older stuff. I'm hoping it's the older stuff at the early 2000s. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This is Dan Mora doing art in here, and I believe it's is it Dan Mora? Let me look again, because I know Dan Mora did a lot of interior art for Mighty Morphin.
I thought Dan Mora was doing the Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles.
All right, this collects Power Rangers Unlimited Countdown to Ruin #1, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 21 and 22 from 2020. This has.
Real quick, that Milestone Compendium, that is original Milestone, like from the 90s.
All right, so Volume 6 has Matt Groom and Margaret Bennett. So,
okay.
It's Star Wars. Then we had 2080 trade.
Rachel says she likes Doc. I like Dr. Aphra as a character. I think is interesting. I just haven't found like a really good story that I love with her in it.
Volume 1 hardcover, $125.
Hardcover, and it's an omnibus.
Omnibus. Yeah, Volume 1 though. So, Captain Marvel, man. Marvel.
OG.
Unchained. Classic Bucky and Cap on there. How could you? That's what we want. More.
I don't want Bucky. I like Winter Soldier just fine.
And then we have this one right here.
I don't hate it. They did that in the movie.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Murder Inc. Volume 2 versus America. Of course. Here's the other cover right here. Variants.
Now, the DC Heroes and Villains. Remember like a week or two ago, we started to see these pop up through, what is that, Machete?
Are these the digital only?
It says hardcover, so I don't think it's a digital.
I've never unless it's available in stock trades, I've never seen these in the wild.
I haven't seen one in the wild, but we saw 2 or 3 of these like a few weeks ago.
So what I'm thinking these is just that DC doesn't do now. They're subletting, just like like Marvel does through Dynamite for some of their Disney stuff.
Yeah,
IDW. So they're letting this smaller company print their stuff because they can get a good price on it.
Yeah, and so this one, like Final Night, which is a fantastic story, by the way, if you haven't read it.
Yeah.
It's where like the sun goes out and everything. It's really cool. This collects all of the issues that are involved. So it's written by Ron Mars and Carl Kessel, and the art is by Mike McCone and Stuart Eminem, who are both solid artists. But you're getting Final Night issues 0 through 4, Parallax, Emerald Knight #1, and Green Lantern 81. So pretty much, I think those are like the core issues of that story.
All right.
It's listed for $11, and it's 176 pages. As an outstanding deal.
All right, and then we have the Batman: The Rise of Killer Croc.
Yep.
These are only $11, man. If I find these and I'm able to order them,
totally,
I'll get them because they had some Green Lantern ones, Green Arrow ones. I was just little like there's collections of ones these are like reprints of if they ever collected these back in the day, it would have been like early '90s trades.
Yeah. Well, we saw. I thought we saw some of these like a few weeks ago.
But these are all through Hatchet.
Yeah, it was Tales of the Green Lantern Corps, and then it was like Legion of Three Worlds was the other one. So yeah, we saw those a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Eric Breen saying there, Final Night is my second favorite DC event, trailing only No Man's Land.
Oh, nice.
And Pregnant Joker. No, this isn't Pregnant Joker, but this is a character that was done way before. This is like for the 90s.
It does bear an eerie resemblance to Pregnant Joker.
Well, this guy actually is pregnant.
Oh, it's not a clay.
This is from the old 2000 AD. They finally collected all the stories together.
Mm-hmm.
So I read through it. He's basically a wimp gangster. He's got this old man. Like this is a very very sexist, misogynist comic book. The guy he married this gangster's like this who's in a wheelchair, barely alive. He's just like Stephen Hawkins, pretty much. Oxygen, and he's General Mortis. He's always got 2 hot babes with him all the time. And this guy is married to his daughter. She's the competent. She's the tough as nails. When he's the kind of the pushover pansy, and he's like, your dad said he wants a son. She's like, well, I'm not having it. And he's like, what do you mean? He'll kill me if I don't. So he ends up being forced himself. And yeah, it's all comic gag stuff. It's not even real. It's just this is what Joker wanted to be, but it's first from a good writer. But
that sounds wild.
Yeah, really strange though. Like I said, it's not something I would really recommend to anybody. But 2000 AD has a lot. It's like just heavy metal has a lot of weird one-shot stories and stuff. People over the years. All right, and then that's it, man. Like I said, Rise of the Killer Croc. If you want the art and craft of writing comments with Sully and Ahmed, Dan Slot, Zebels, and then hey, Chip Zdarsky's in here. Remember Prince Valiant?
I do not remember Prince Valiant.
I think now Breen might know this. I think Prince Valiant was actually printed in the Sunday papers. The comics.
Oh, was it?
It might have been.
Okay.
But this is from 87 to 88. This is a hardcover. This is volume 26 through Fantagraphic Books. Rebellion, obviously, is that's Garth Ennis's publication.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing the best.
I'm sorry. What?
22.29. It's a web shop exclusive variant. But you saw it up here earlier. Right here.
Yeah. Good, yeah.
Like I said, not many for trades, but so that being it, that's kind of we're gonna wrap it up here. We talked over some DC movies and TV shows coming out, showed you what's coming out for comic books. Hope you guys had some fun. We'll always love have you guys interacting. Rachel, Ed Brewer, cool. I can see you guys in here. Eric Breen, Jay, Ash on Comics. Check out his every Monday night. So for late night comics, starts at 11 p.m. Central.
and it goes till the sun comes up.
5 a.m. But we're gonna cut it back. We're gonna cut it back. We'll probably drop it down to 2 hours.
Oh no! What am I gonna fall asleep listening to?
I do you guys realize I had a League of Comic Geek account? I think I'm gonna start using it more often. Honestly, I do it because I can go back and look. So because you can add books to your wish list.
Yeah.
So books I was looking for, I can just go in there. Hey, on my app.
Every when I'm listening to like E's auctions, like say he puts up like a lot of like All-Star Squadron books or Fantastic Four, I go through my League of Comic Geeks, and that's the easiest way to see like what I'm missing and what issues I need. So
I did that for Air.
Check it out, Austin.
I bought a bunch of Airboy from my shop about a month ago, and I just added it all to League of Comic Geeks. It's a little tedious sometimes, but once you get a hang of it, it's good. Like I said, I recommend if you're gonna be using it, you only use it for the PC. Don't really and you can try the app. The app's wonky on iPad or whatever you're using.
Yeah.
Also,
I was up till at least 2:30 last night and saw you were still going. It was well past 2:30.
Yes. And also thank you to Undead Quinn and I believe Cha5, CHA5. Thank you for showing up, and I think that's about it. Oh yeah, Eva Black Cat. Thank you for showing up as always. And that's about it.
That's it? We don't have any more?
Nope. But anybody else who's tuning in this right now, if you haven't already done so, click like. Also, if you like this content and you want to see more of it, hit subscribe. It's free. It's easy to do. If you want to get notifications on your phone, hit click the bell, select all, so you get notified when we go live. We mainly do this is basically a channel as a YouTube live. We don't really do a lot of videos, although there will be a video being uploaded this Friday. It's a reading that we did previously. It's from the vault. We should just start calling it from the vault because Pixel likes to take things and just never put them the day of light.
It's like the Disney vaults, like you wait for a limited release of a movie or something.
Austin, you're more than welcome to follow us on there. You can follow me
totally.
Combook Frog and Zach's under
bow ties are cool. Actually, I'll
bow ties are cool 88, I think.
I think so.
Ash is on there, so Skip and Tosh. Cool. Basically, if you find Skip and Tosh, you'll find all of us.
That's true.
Yeah. Basically, another thing that's cool about too is if you're going to create a pull list with your shop, to your shop, they actually have it where you can have a printout of your pull list. And I took that, I printed it out, and I handed it to my shop. So it had all the orders he needs for basic ordering stuff. So it was really cool. Yeah. So also, if you want to help with the channel, there is a couple ways you can do it. One is leaving a comment down below what books you are excited about, or just saying hi. Comment. There's no pressure.
Yeah.
You can even complain about Zach and not, whatever. I don't care.
That'd be me all the time.
Share out the channel. We have our Twitter links down in the description down below. You can follow us on Twitter. You can also follow us on Instagram as well too. Sharing out the streams helps out, and if you want to, if you can, not everybody. I don't expect anybody to really do this, but if you're really cool, there's a Ko-fi.com/Puppetine. You can donate the money, even $1, as little as $1, goes towards basically our monthly StreamYard bill, and then also goes towards the Marvel and DC apps we use for reading. So thank you all for being here. Hope you had fun, and we'll see you. Well, there will be 2 streams tomorrow. There should be a Bad Batch. And there should also be
there's a Bad Batch.
And there's a Winchester's review. After that, come back on Thursday night at 8 p.m. We'll be talking about the best books of the week. And then Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, we'll talk about an interview with Joe Corallo. We're going to have the creator, who's also co-creator of Born in Blood, Drew Dolan, on. Joe and Drew both are co-writing the book. So, like I said, I think you guys will find that awesome. It's gonna be a little hangout, kind of chill stream, kind of relax back. But you also get anytime we get to have Joe on the channel, I love it. The guy has a source of information, and you get to see Breen kind of sweat a little because he's like, oh my gosh, he knows more than Joe does.
He's
So now-
taking my spot. Would you say that? So if Breen was Mike Barron, would you say Joe Corallo is going to take over after he dies?
More like Paulo.
Oh, that's true.
Paulo's
Paulo, Joe Corallo and Paulo. Showtime at the Apollo.
I still want the Paulo Corallo hour.
Paulo Corallo. Oh, that works better. I like that. The Paulo Corallo hour. I like that. Breen, I'm just kidding. You better not die anytime soon. We can't have the Paulo Corallo hour for a while.
True, yeah. And give me a copy of your key in case I need to check on you an emergency visit.
I don't need a copy of the key. I just need his address and a rock.
Honestly, I'll just call Jerry, but like, hey, I'll give you $50. Let me go through.
That's fair.
We're fair. See?
Yeah.
Jerry makes money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
I'm sure E has his mailing address. We could just get that.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.